About the organization, the cycling organization.
Yeah, my name is Coach Atiba, and I'm one of the coaches and the coordinator for the BRAG Dream Team. And BRAG stands for the Bicycle Ride Across Georgia. And back in 1994, BRAG started a program for the Dream Team in Atlanta with middle school students from Atlanta Public Schools. And the idea was that if you were to train with them, with some adult mentors, and provide them with bicycles and helmets to do the bike ride across Georgia, which is a week-long bike ride across the state, anywhere from 300 to 400 miles, that you could teach these young people to persevere, set big goals, and achieve them. And if they completed the bike ride across Georgia, they would get to keep the bicycle. And so that model was created back in 1994. And I've been around since 95, so I'm not the father, I'm sort of more like a godfather. And so for the past 23 years, I've been helping build the program. So we now are based in a half a dozen cities and towns across Georgia. So we spread from Atlanta to Dublin, to Madison, to Milledgeville, down to the coast on Riceboro, Georgia. And we're trying to expand to Macon. Macon looks like it's our next best shot to start a Dream Team Club. And now they actually are for middle and high school students, male and female, and we ride year round, as long as the weather permits. And we provide bicycles and helmets and teach safety, because it's all about safety. We have a pretty good track record, but we also teach them to go further than they ever thought. So for us, a short ride is 20 miles, a medium ride is 40 miles, and a long ride is 60 miles. And the young people we work with can pretty much work up to do 60 miles a day and still get off their bike at the end of the day and have fun.
Wow. How did you first become involved with this? What was it that drew you into the BRAG?
So I have to admit that my origins probably go back to my own childhood. And, like a lot of kids, I got a bike. But my first job was a newspaper boy, and I was in New York, and we delivered the newspapers on our bicycles. And so I learned a lot of the skills that turned out to be very helpful as an adult, as a newspaper boy delivering newspapers on my bicycle. And one spring day, our manager for the newspaper asked the boys who were delivering newspapers if they wanted to go on a bike ride. And we, of course, said yes. We took a long bike ride to Flushing Meadows Park. And when we arrived, there was a big festival going on, and we heard Marvin Gaye singing, "What's Going On?" And that experience, when I was about 12 years old, made me believe that the bicycle can take you places and experiences that are extraordinary. And so as an adult, when I got a chance to do the same thing with young people through BRAG, for me it was bringing my experience as a young person into the next generation. And I just haven't quit it after 23 years, so I'm still doing it. And I think that, to me, that it's more than just riding a bike. It's something about this journey on a long distance bike ride where you can teach life lessons to kids. And again, perseverance is critical, but setting big goals. When people think that, it's impossible and you can do it, and learning how to shift gears so that you pace yourself, learning how to take care of your body, make sure you're drinking water and not dehydrating, and learning teamwork. Because learning how to draft off each other is another way to do the long distance ride. So.
Just one last question: what was your best or your favorite or most memorable adventure / success in while in BRAG?
Well, there certainly have been a lot of highlights over the years. Next year, 2019, will mark the 25th anniversary of the BRAG Dream Team. And so we plan to do some extraordinary events and bike rides. But in 2014, our 20th anniversary, we organized a special anniversary bike ride from the King Center in Atlanta to the King Memorial in Washington, D.C. and we invited another youth bike program out of North Carolina to join us. And so we started in Atlanta in June of 2014 at the King Center, and with 23 young people and about 11 adult coaches. We spent 2 weeks cycling through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and we landed in Washington, D.C. on July 4th and went to the King Memorial and took an amazing photo of that day. And then we spent the rest of the day in Washington, D.C., and that night we watched the fireworks. And anybody who has experienced the July 4th fireworks in Washington, D.C. knows how extraordinary it is. And so for me, that was like a highlight for the young people and for me as a coach.
Well, that's all. Is there anything else you'd want to say to encourage maybe the youth or somebody who is maybe thinking about it and hasn't decided yet?
Well, we just want to say we want Macon to come together and collaborate to create a Dream Team chapter here in 2019. And so we want the young people in middle school and high school, as well as the adults who are willing to either ride with them or to help fundraise or provide equipment, to all come together and make it happen so that the dream can come true here in Macon too.
Thank you.